Have you ever had this problem? So I bought this welding cart at Harbor Freight for like $40. And I think it had a 20% off coupon that may have worked on it as well. So it may have been even cheaper than $40. But I have some areas that are uneven ground that I move this welder around on. And so I welded what I did was I drilled a hole. The hole may have already been here, and mounted these movable arms on here, and then I notched out a portion of the front of this so that it would fit in and would not slide around. But when I did that, okay, and I was going on uneven ground, what had happened is the whole front of this bent way up because of all the weight. This cheap $40 stand was not made for that kind of weight, and plus this Power MIG Lincoln is pretty heavy. So with that said, what I had to do is take the welder off of this and straighten everything out, and I took 1.5 inch angle iron and cut it at 17.5 inches, and then took a buffing pad and got rid of all the paint where I welded. And I'll show you here. You can see what I did. I just went around and tack welded this all down through there, and also where the welder is sitting. I did about the same amount of tack welds there, although they're a little bit longer beads that I ran. And anyway, it made this thing a lot stronger. And so, you know, you can take this thing and you can move it around in here, you know, pretty easily like this. But if you want to take this out, if you've got a gravel driveway, there's no way you're going to get these little wheels out. Let me show you these wheels. There's no way you can get those through your gravel driveway. But the back wheels are pretty good. Now, one thing I also want to point out, since we're looking at the wheels, I had some nylon lock nuts. I would recommend using those because the ones they send, and also a little thicker bolt for that. I think that's a 5/16 bolt. So anyhow, nylon lock nut on the wheel, caster wheel, because if that comes off, okay, because you're not really checking it, you're not really thinking about, oh, this wheel's good, it's gonna always stay on. Well, it's possible that one of those could loosen up, they could all become loose, and then you lose a wheel one day, and then guess what? Your expensive welder just topples onto the floor and possibly gets ruined. So, with that said, the back wheels look like they're secured pretty good. There's an axle through there and a cotter pin that doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So the front now is set up pretty well, and where I tacked in that angle iron, this thing is a good welding cart now for 40 bucks, and it really didn't bother me that it bent, because honestly I just really didn't have time to cut all this metal and weld one of these things up. And I probably could not have purchased the steel for the same price as what I was able to get that whole welding cart for. So anyway, you want to take this out and go through your gravel driveway now you can do it. Okay, you can use it like it's like a wheelbarrow now, you know, you just go around wherever you need to go, and you can go on a lot more terrain than you could otherwise. So with that said, these pieces of metal was just some old shelving that I got when, actually it was when there was a Kmart was going out of business and they were selling these shelves really cheap. Well, I didn't even need the shelves. I've been using the metal for different projects. So this is one of the uses of that metal. And you can see I used a nylon lock nut and a bolt there and I kept them loose so that they could bend over to fit into the notch. So that works good for me. I haven't, had a whole lot of use out of this, but I really like this setup. It's been working really good for what I'm doing, and I thought this video might help you guys out there, if you've got one of these things and it bent, or maybe, maybe you would like to make one like this so you can take it through your gravel driveway, take it through your yard to get to another area where you've got power, and it just works really good.